A strange encounter. In the quiet town of Millbrook, Iowa, life moved at a slow, predictable pace. Jacob Rains, a mechanic with calloused hands and a weary heart, had grown accustomed to the monotony of his days. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow of the dilapidated houses and rusted cars that lined the streets. Jacob wiped the grease off his hands, the smell of motor oil lingering in the air as he prepared to close up Pete's auto shop for the night. "See you tomorrow, Jacob," Pete called out, his gruff voice echoing in the dimly lit shop. Jacob nodded, the weight of another uneventful day hanging heavily on his shoulders. He stepped outside, feeling the crisp autumn air nip at his skin. As he drove home in his old Chevy, the familiar sights blurred past him. A town that had once been vibrant, now faded like the paint on his truck. At home, dinner was a solitary affair. A frozen meal heated in the microwave was the extent of his culinary adventure. Jacob settled into his worn recliner, the television flickering with images that offered little comfort. The empty space on the mantel where his late wife's picture had hung was a constant reminder of his loss. The silence was deafening, broken only by the low hum of the TV and his own thoughts that spiraled into loneliness and regret. As midnight approached, sleep eluded him. Stepping onto his back porch, he gazed up at the starry sky, searching for meaning in the vastness above. That's when he saw it, a brilliant flash of light streaking across the night like a comet. He blinked, unsure if his eyes were deceiving him. The lights danced and swirled, leaving trails of blue and green fire that flickered like the excitement he once felt for life. "What the hell?" he muttered, heart racing at the unexpected sight. The display of cosmic fireworks captivated him, a spark of joy he hadn't experienced in years. But just as quickly as it. "You said, start with part one more unique and lengthy," ChatGPT said. ChatGPT Part 1. A chance encounter. In the quiet town of Elmwood, a sleepy community nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, life unfolded at a gentle pace. Residents took pride in their small-town charm, where everyone knew one another's names, and the most excitement came from Friday night football games or the annual county fair. Yet, amidst the familiar routine, something extraordinary was about to disrupt the monotony. Evelyn Harper, a solitary woman in her 30s, spent her days working at the local library. The scent of old books filled her workspace, and the sound of pages turning was a comforting backdrop to her otherwise quiet life. With her auburn hair often tied up in a messy bun and oversized glasses perched on her nose, she was content in her world of literature and history. But deep down, Evelyn longed for adventure, something to break the chains of predictability that bound her. One crisp autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink, Evelyn decided to take a stroll through the nearby woods. The air was brisk, and the crunch of leaves beneath her feet accompanied her thoughts. She often found solace in nature, the vibrant colors and rustling leaves calming her restless spirit. As she wandered deeper into the forest, a peculiar sound caught her attention, a low humming, like a distant song carried by the wind. Intrigued, she followed the sound, her heart racing with excitement and curiosity. With each step, the hum grew louder, wrapping around her like an embrace, urging her to come closer. Finally, she reached a clearing bathed in silvery moonlight, where the trees parted to reveal an astonishing sight. Hovering just above the ground was a shimmering spacecraft, unlike anything she had ever seen. It glowed with an ethereal light, pulsating gently as if it had a heartbeat of its own. Evelyn's breath caught in her throat. This was not just a figment of her imagination, it was real. Suddenly, the humming stopped, replaced by a soft whooshing sound. The door of the spacecraft slid open with a smooth hiss, and a figure emerged, stepping into the moonlit clearing. Evelyn's heart raced as she laid eyes on her visitor, an alien, standing before her in a graceful, flowing garment that shimmered like starlight. The being's skin was a deep emerald green, and its eyes were large and expressive, sparkling with intelligence and curiosity. "Greetings, Earth Dweller," the alien said, its voice melodic and warm, echoing through the stillness of the night. "I am Zara from the planet Celestia. I have come seeking assistance." Evelyn's mind raced. "Assistance? What do you mean?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly with a mix of fear and wonder. Zara stepped closer, the light from the spacecraft casting a gentle glow around her. "I fled my home due to a dire situation. My people are bound by tradition, and I seek to break free from my predetermined fate. I need a human companion, someone who can help me navigate your world." Evelyn's heart skipped a beat. Was this a dream? An elaborate prank? But as she looked into Zara's eyes, she saw sincerity and desperation. "What kind of help do you need?" she inquired, her curiosity overpowering her apprehension. "On my planet, a bond between a human and an alien can grant me protection from those who seek to return me to my former life. I must find someone willing to enter into a partnership with me, one that transcends the boundaries of our worlds," Zara explained, her voice filled with urgency. Evelyn felt a spark of excitement igniting within her. Here was the adventure she had always yearned for, an opportunity to experience the unknown, to challenge the mundane existence she had resigned herself to. Yet doubt crept in. "But how can I help you? I don't even know what this partnership entails." Zara smiled, a radiant expression that lit up her features. "It is simple. We will learn from each other. You'll teach me about your world, and in return, I will share the wonders of mine. Together, we can navigate the complexities of both our cultures." Evelyn took a deep breath, contemplating the possibilities. She had always felt different, like a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit in the world around her. This could be her chance to break free from the constraints of her life, to embrace something extraordinary. "All right, I'm in. I'll help you." Zara's eyes sparkled with gratitude. "Thank you, Evelyn. I knew you were the one I was meant to find." As they began to discuss the details of their partnership, a sense of wonder enveloped the clearing. The night sky above was a tapestry of stars, and for the first time, Evelyn felt a sense of belonging, not just to the Earth, but to the universe at large. The next few days unfolded like a dream. Evelyn and Zara spent hours exploring each other's worlds, Zara sharing tales of Celestia, a planet filled with breathtaking landscapes and advanced technologies, while Evelyn opened up about her life in Elmwood, introducing Zara to the quaint charm of her small town. Zara's presence was both exhilarating and daunting. Every day brought new challenges, learning how to blend in with human society while still remaining true to herself. Zara's unique appearance and customs often sparked curiosity, leading to humorous misunderstandings. One afternoon, as they ventured into the local coffee shop, Zara's graceful movements and glowing skin turned heads, causing a ripple of whispers among the patrons. "Just act natural," Evelyn whispered, suppressing a chuckle as Zara curiously inspected the coffee machine. "It's just coffee, not a spacecraft." "Coffee? What is this substance?" Zara asked, her brow furrowing in confusion. Evelyn laughed, realizing how peculiar it must seem to someone from another world. "It's a drink. You'll love it. Trust me." As they navigated their way through the intricacies of human customs, a bond began to form, a friendship rooted in shared experiences and mutual understanding. Zara's infectious curiosity and Evelyn's steady demeanor created a beautiful balance, allowing them to support one another in their respective journeys. However, the peaceful days were not without their challenges. With each passing moment, the weight of Zara's predicament loomed larger. She was a fugitive on Earth, and the threat of being discovered by her people was ever present. Evelyn found herself torn between the excitement of adventure and the fear of the unknown. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset paint the sky in vibrant hues, Evelyn turned to Zara, her heart heavy with questions. "What happens if they find you? What will they do?" Zara's expression turned serious. "If my people discover I am here, they will attempt to bring me back, to force me into a life I no longer wish to lead. I cannot let that happen." Evelyn felt a pang of empathy for her friend. I'll do everything I can to help you, but we need a plan. We can't let them take you back. Zara nodded, determination shining in her eyes. Together we will find a way. I refuse to go back to a life that does not allow me to be myself. As night fell and the stars twinkled overhead, the two women sat in silence, united in their resolve. They were unlikely allies, a lonely human and an alien seeking freedom, but together they would forge a path filled with hope, adventure, and the promise of a brighter future. Little did they know, their journey had only just begun, and the challenges ahead would test the strength of their bond in ways they could never have imagined. Embracing the unknown. The next morning, the sun poured into the kitchen, casting a golden glow on the wooden table where Evelyn and Zara sat, surrounded by books and sketches. They had turned the dining room into a makeshift command center, filled with maps of both Earth and Celestia. The excitement in the air was palpable, yet the gravity of Zara's situation lingered like a shadow. "We need to blend in," Evelyn said, glancing at the collection of sketches Zara had made of Earth's flora and fauna. "If your people are searching for you, we can't draw attention to ourselves." Zara nodded, her emerald skin shimmering in the light. "I have been studying your customs, but there is still much I do not understand. What is the most common way to make friends here?" Evelyn chuckled. "Coffee shops and community events are great places to start. People bond over shared interests, and small talk is a big deal." "Small talk?" Zara raised an eyebrow, her curiosity piqued. "What is that?" "It's when people exchange pleasantries without really discussing anything of substance. It can seem pointless, but it helps build connections," Evelyn explained, thinking back to her own struggles to connect with others in her small town. "Maybe we can attend the upcoming fall festival. It's a big deal around here, and everyone will be there." Zara's eyes lit up. "I would like that. I can observe your interactions and learn from them." Over the next few days, the duo planned for the festival, diving into the vibrant world of autumn traditions. They decorated the living room with colorful leaves, miniature pumpkins, and strings of twinkling lights. Evelyn introduced Zara to the concept of pumpkin spice, and they experimented with baking pumpkin pies, laughter echoing through the kitchen as flour dusted their faces. As the festival approached, excitement filled the air. Evelyn's heart raced with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. She had always felt like an outsider in her own town, but now, with Zara by her side, she hoped to embrace the community spirit. The day of the festival arrived, and the town square transformed into a lively celebration. Stalls lined the streets, offering everything from homemade crafts to delicious autumn treats. Laughter and music filled the air, and the scent of caramel apples wafted through the crowd. Evelyn felt a flutter of nerves as she adjusted her scarf, glancing at Zara, who stood beside her, wide-eyed with wonder. "Remember, just be yourself," Evelyn reassured her, though she couldn't shake the feeling that this day would be a test for both of them. As they wandered through the festival, Evelyn introduced Zara to various activities, bobbing for apples, participating in a pie-eating contest, and watching local musicians perform. With every interaction, Zara absorbed the world around her, her laughter blending seamlessly with the sounds of joy. But as they approached a group of familiar faces, Evelyn's childhood friends, an unexpected wave of anxiety washed over her. "Hey, there's my friends," she said, forcing a smile. "Just remember to keep it casual." Zara nodded, her expression serious as she took a deep breath. "I will do my best." "Hey, Evelyn," shouted Sarah, a bubbly blonde with a warm smile. "Is that your new friend? She's stunning." "Thanks," Evelyn said, trying to sound casual, but she could feel the heat rising to her cheeks. "This is Zara. She's, visiting from out of town." "Visiting? Where are you from?" Sarah asked, leaning in closer, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Zara hesitated, glancing at Evelyn for guidance. "I am from a place far away, where the skies are always filled with stars." "That sounds incredible." Another friend chimed in, intrigued. "What's it like there?" "It is. Zara paused, searching for the right words. Different. We have colors in the sky that you cannot see here, and the air is filled with music. The group was captivated, their attention shifting entirely to Zara as she shared stories of Celestia. For the first time, Evelyn felt a sense of pride watching her friend navigate the conversation. Zara's unique perspective sparked genuine interest, and laughter flowed freely among them. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the festival, the moment felt perfect. But just as they started to relax, Evelyn caught sight of a figure in the distance, an unmistakable silhouette approaching the festival. Her heart sank as she recognized him, Mark, her ex-boyfriend, who had never quite accepted their breakup. "Evelyn, there you are," Mark called, his voice loud enough to cut through the laughter. "I've been looking for you." Evelyn's stomach twisted in knots. She could feel Zara's tension beside her as Mark approached, his gaze narrowing in confusion at the sight of the alien beside her. "Who's this?" he asked, his tone a mix of skepticism and curiosity. "This is Zara," Evelyn said, trying to keep her voice steady. "She's visiting from out of town." Mark raised an eyebrow, clearly unconvinced. "Right. So, where are you really from?" he pressed, crossing his arms. Zara, sensing the tension, stepped forward. "I am from a planet called Celestia. It is unlike anything you have experienced." Mark's laughter was harsh, a blend of disbelief and derision. "Celestia? Is this some kind of joke? You can't be serious." Evelyn felt her heart race, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. "This is not a joke, Mark. Zara is my friend, and I would appreciate it if you'd respect that." Mark scoffed, dismissing her words. "Come on, Evelyn. Don't tell me you actually believe this nonsense." Zara's expression hardened, and for a moment, a flicker of defiance shone in her eyes. "I am not nonsense," she declared, her voice firm and unwavering. "I am here to find my place in this world, just as you are." The crowd around them fell silent, tension crackling in the air. Evelyn's heart swelled with admiration for Zara's courage. "We're not here to impress anyone," she said, standing taller. "Zara is real, and she deserves respect just like anyone else." Mark's expression shifted from disbelief to a hint of uncertainty, as if he was grappling with the unexpected turn of events. The crowd began to murmur, and Evelyn sensed a shift in the atmosphere. Curiosity had replaced skepticism. "Listen," Mark said, backing off slightly. "I didn't mean to disrespect anyone. I just didn't expect." He trailed off, searching for words. "We are all different," Zara interjected, her voice gentle but firm. "And that is what makes this world beautiful." The tension slowly melted away, replaced by a sense of camaraderie. As the festival resumed around them, Evelyn felt a newfound strength within. Evelyn smiled, recalling her own childhood, filled with the magic of storytelling. Every author weaves their own experiences and dreams into words. They create worlds we can escape into. For me, it's a way to explore feelings and ideas. They spent hours reading and sharing their favorite stories. Evelyn introduced Zara to classic fairy tales, while Zara shared the legends of Celestia, myths that spoke of stars and harmony, of beings who danced in the skies. The more they exchanged stories, the more they began to see the similarities between their worlds, recognizing the universal themes of love, loss, and belonging. As their friendship deepened, so did the complexities of Zara's situation. Though they had successfully blended into the community, Zara's time on Earth was limited. The looming threat of discovery weighed heavily on both their hearts. They often found themselves discussing potential plans for Zara's future, but uncertainty hung in the air like a dark cloud. One evening, as they curled up on the couch with a cup of steaming herbal tea, Zara's gaze drifted to the window, where the stars twinkled against the night sky. "Evelyn, what will happen when I cannot stay here anymore?" she asked, her voice trembling. Evelyn's heart sank. "I don't know. I wish there were a way for you to stay indefinitely. You've brought so much light into my life." Zara turned to her, determination glimmering in her eyes. I do not want to return to Celestia without having truly lived here, without having formed real connections. I want to understand the essence of humanity. You have shown me that, but there is so much more to experience." Her words struck a chord deep within Evelyn. She realized that this journey was not just about hiding Zara from her pursuers. It was about allowing her friend to embrace the richness of life on Earth. "Then let's make the most of the time we have," Evelyn said, a spark of determination igniting within her. "We'll create memories that will last a lifetime." Over the following weeks, they embarked on a whirlwind of adventures. They went hiking in the nearby mountains, where Zara marveled at the vibrant colors of the autumn leaves, each hue a reminder of Celestia's far-off skies. They volunteered at a local animal shelter, where Zara's kindness shone through as she cared for the abandoned pets, forming bonds that left her heart full. They even attended local art classes, where Zara's unique perspective added a fresh twist to their creations, often leaving the instructors in awe. As they navigated the joys of everyday life, Zara began to reveal more about her own world. She spoke of Celestia's vast landscapes, where cities floated among the clouds, and harmony was maintained through the unity of its inhabitants. "In Celestia, we communicate through emotions and colors," she explained, her eyes lighting up with excitement. "Every being is connected, and we strive to maintain balance. But here, everything feels so separate." Evelyn nodded, reflecting on the loneliness she had often felt. "I understand that. Even in a crowded room, it can feel isolating. But I think we can create our own sense of connection, no matter where we are." As the weeks passed, the weight of Zara's impending departure loomed closer. Evelyn felt her heart ache with the thought of losing her friend. They spent countless nights talking about their dreams and fears, sometimes finding comfort in each other's presence, while other times confronting the stark reality of their situation. Then came the day when everything changed. While exploring a local farmer's market, they stumbled upon a booth selling handmade crafts. Among the vibrant scarves and wooden trinkets, Evelyn noticed a strange device glimmering in the sunlight. It looked like a small orb, pulsating with colors that reminded her of Zara's skin. "What is that?" Zara asked, her voice tinged with curiosity. The vendor, an elderly woman with kind eyes, approached them. "Ah, this is a celestial orb. It's said to have come from the stars, a relic of another world." Zara stepped closer, her eyes widening. "It is real." The vendor nodded. "Legend has it that these orbs hold the power of connection between worlds. They can help bridge the gap between two places, allowing communication beyond barriers." Evelyn's heart raced at the possibility. Could it help you stay here longer?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Zara reached for the orb, its surface cool against her skin. "If it truly holds the power of connection, it may be able to help me. But we must be careful. Such things often come with a price." After a moment of deliberation, they decided to purchase the orb, believing it could hold the key to extending Zara's time on Earth. With their minds racing with possibilities, they returned home, eager to explore the orb's potential. That evening, they sat together in the living room, the orb resting on the table between them. Its colors shifted and swirled, creating a mesmerizing dance of light. "What do we do now?" Evelyn asked, her heart pounding with excitement and trepidation. Zara took a deep breath, her fingers hovering over the orb. "We must connect with its energy. I will share my essence with it, but we must both be willing to accept whatever it may bring." Evelyn nodded, her determination solidifying. "I'm ready." Zara closed her eyes, focusing her energy, the air around them shimmering with anticipation. Evelyn followed suit, envisioning a bridge between their worlds, a connection that would allow them to transcend the boundaries that separated them. As they both channeled their energy into the orb, a brilliant light enveloped them, filling the room with warmth. The orb pulsed rhythmically, matching the beats of their hearts. A gentle hum resonated in the air, as if the very fabric of reality was responding to their desires. Suddenly, the light exploded, filling the room with colors that danced like the aurora borealis. In that moment, Evelyn felt an overwhelming sense of unity, a shared heartbeat that transcended the barriers of their worlds. She could hear whispers of Celestia, feel the warmth of its skies, and experience the beauty of its connections. But just as quickly as it began, the light flickered and dimmed, leaving them breathless and trembling. The orb settled back into its still form, its colors now a soft glow. What just happened? Evelyn gasped, her heart racing. Zara opened her eyes, wide with wonder. I felt it. We connected. I can sense Celestia's energy more clearly now. But her voice faltered, a shadow of uncertainty crossing her face. I think there may be a price to pay. What do you mean? Evelyn asked, anxiety creeping in. Zara looked down at the orb, her expression serious. I don't know yet, but sometimes to gain something valuable, we must sacrifice something equally important. We must be prepared for what may come next. Evelyn's heart sank at the thought of losing Zara, but she knew they couldn't turn back now. Whatever it is, we'll face it together, she said, determination ringing clear in her voice. Zara smiled, and in that moment, they knew their bond had grown stronger than any challenge they might face. As they prepared for the next step in their journey, they embraced the unknown, ready to confront whatever trials awaited them. And beneath the vast expanse of stars, they felt the promise of adventure whispering through the night, a reminder that together, they could navigate the complexities of their worlds, forging a path uniquely their own. The ties that bind. The following days were charged with anticipation, a palpable energy that thrummed between Evelyn and Zara. They had tasted the power of the celestial orb, and the connection it forged between their worlds felt both exhilarating and daunting. As they resumed their daily lives, they couldn't shake the sense that something had shifted within them, an unspoken agreement that they were on the brink of something monumental. Evelyn woke up each morning with a sense of purpose, her heart beating in rhythm with the knowledge that their lives had irrevocably changed. Zara, too, seemed to radiate a newfound energy, her emerald eyes sparkling with determination. Yet, beneath the surface of excitement lay an undercurrent of anxiety. What would be the cost of their connection? On one particularly crisp morning, they decided to take a walk in the nearby park, the sun filtering through the autumn leaves and casting dappled shadows on the ground. The air was fresh, and the golden hues of fall surrounded them like a warm embrace. They walked hand in hand, their fingers interlaced, both cherishing the intimacy that had blossomed between them. As they strolled, they came across a small pond. The water mirrored the brilliant blue of the sky, and ducks paddled lazily across the surface. Evelyn leaned against the railing, watching the ripples distort the reflections. It's beautiful here, she mused, her voice soft. Zara gazed at the water, her expression contemplative. Yes, it is. I've never seen anything quite like it. The stillness of the water. It reminds me of the way the sky reflects our emotions back home. Evelyn turned to her, curiosity piqued. What do you mean? In Celestia, our feelings manifest in colors and patterns across the sky, Zara explained, her eyes glimmering with nostalgia. When we are joyful, the sky glows with vibrant hues. But when we are sad, it darkens, heavy with our emotions. It is a reflection of our unity, a reminder that we are all connected. Evelyn's heart swelled with admiration for Zara's world. That sounds beautiful. I wish we had something like that here. It would make it so much easier to understand each other. Zara nodded, her gaze drifting back to the pond. Perhaps that is why I feel so drawn to this place. There is an authenticity here, a vulnerability that I admire. As they continued to talk, Evelyn felt a warmth spreading through her, a sense of belonging that she had long craved. Their bond deepened with every shared secret, every dream they wove into reality. But in the back of her mind, the uncertainty loomed. What would it mean for them to truly connect? That evening, as they sat together on the couch, the celestial orb glowing softly on the coffee table, Evelyn couldn't shake the feeling that they needed to confront the orb's power directly. Zara, what do you think will happen next? We felt something when we connected, but I'm still not sure what it meant. Zara's expression shifted, a seriousness settling over her features. I have been pondering that as well. The connection we forged was powerful, but it was also unstable. The orb has a will of its own. It can amplify our desires, but it may also reflect our fears. Evelyn's heart raced at the thought. What if it brings something we're not ready for? What if it puts you in danger? Zara leaned closer, her voice steady. We cannot let fear dictate our actions. We must embrace the unknown together. We'll face whatever comes next. Evelyn nodded, her resolve strengthening. You're right. We've already come this far. We owe it to ourselves to explore what this connection means. That night, they gathered their courage and sat in front of the orb, their hands clasped tightly together. Let's do this, Evelyn said, her heart pounding. On the count of 3. 3, Zara whispered, her eyes fixed on the orb, a mixture of hope and apprehension swirling within her. 2, Evelyn breathed, feeling the energy in the room intensify. 1. They both placed their palms over the orb, channeling their energy into it. A rush of warmth enveloped them, colors swirling and merging, creating a kaleidoscope of light that filled the room. For a moment, they felt invincible, as if nothing could separate them. Then, abruptly, the colors coalesced into a single beam, shooting toward the ceiling, illuminating the entire room. In that blinding light, they saw flashes of images, a vibrant world filled with celestial floating cities, its inhabitants dancing among the clouds, and the connection between their two realms intertwining like vines. But amidst this beauty, shadows flickered, hints of danger lurking at the edges. Evelyn gasped as a wave of emotions washed over her, joy and wonder, but also fear and sorrow. The light pulsed, resonating with the duality of their feelings. They were both aware that their bond was not just a union of hearts. It was a connection that transcended dimensions, and with that came the weight of responsibility. Suddenly, the orb trembled, and a low hum reverberated in the air, sending shivers down Evelyn's spine. What's happening? She exclaimed, fear tightening her chest. I don't know, Zara shouted, her eyes wide with alarm. We must focus. We have to stabilize it. But as they struggled to maintain their connection, the orb erupted in a burst of light, and a shockwave knocked them backward, sending them sprawling across the floor. The light enveloped them, pulling them into a swirling void, the world around them dissolving into chaos. When the light finally receded, they found themselves standing in a strange landscape, one that resembled a dream. The ground shimmered beneath their feet, covered in a soft, ethereal mist that glowed with an otherworldly light. In the distance, they could see floating islands adorned with lush greenery and waterfalls cascading into the void. Where are we? Evelyn breathed, awe mingling with fear. Zara scanned the surroundings, her expression a mixture of wonder and apprehension. I think we've crossed into the interstice, the space between our worlds. The orb has opened a gateway. As they took in their surroundings, they heard whispers carried by the wind, voices calling out to them in a language they couldn't understand. What do we do now? Evelyn asked, her heart racing. We must navigate this space carefully, Zara replied, her brow furrowing in concentration. It's a realm of possibilities, but it can also be treacherous. We have to find a way to connect with the essence of this place. With that, they began to explore, moving cautiously through the luminescent landscape. The air hummed with energy, vibrating with a connection between their worlds. As they ventured deeper, they encountered shimmering beings, ethereal figures that floated gracefully through the mist, their forms shifting and changing like liquid light. Are they? Evelyn began, awe-struck. Guardians of the interstice, Zara answered, her voice barely above a whisper. They maintain the balance between our worlds. They can help us, but we must approach them with respect. Taking a deep breath, they stepped forward, and the guardians turned their luminous eyes toward them. Seekers of connection, why have you entered our realm? A voice echoed, resonating through the air like a soft melody. Evelyn swallowed hard, finding her voice. We wish to understand the bond between our worlds. We want to bridge the gap and learn how to coexist. The guardians exchanged glances, their forms swirling in patterns of light. To connect is to embrace both light and shadow. The cost of such a union is great. Are you willing to face the consequences of your desires? Zara nodded, her determination unwavering. We are ready to accept whatever may come. We believe in the power of our connection. With that, the guardians circled around them, their movements creating a spiral of light. Then you must choose. Will you bind your fates to one another, knowing the risks that accompany such a bond? Evelyn and Zara exchanged a glance, their hearts beating in sync. Yes, Evelyn said, her voice steady. We choose to connect, no matter the cost. As the guardians began to weave their magic, Evelyn felt a rush of emotions flood her senses. Love, fear, hope, and uncertainty all collided within her. The light enveloped them once more, and they could sense their souls intertwining, forming an unbreakable bond. But as the magic surged, so did the shadows, creeping at the edges of their consciousness. Dark whispers echoed, warning of the sacrifices that lay ahead, the potential loss that accompanied their choices. Evelyn clutched Zara's hand tighter, feeling the warmth of their connection. Stay with me, she whispered, a mixture of fear and determination flooding her heart. I will, Zara replied, her eyes shining with resolve. Together, we can navigate the unknown. As the guardians completed the binding ritual, a blinding light enveloped them, and for a moment, they were suspended in a sea of colors, dancing between worlds, their fates intertwined. Then, as quickly as it began, the light dissipated, and they found themselves back in Evelyn's living room, breathless and disoriented. The celestial orb rested between them, pulsating gently, its colors now a soft blend of their essences. Evelyn and Zara exchanged awed glances, their hearts racing. What just happened? Evelyn gasped. Zara smiled, a mixture of triumph and uncertainty etched across her features. We have bound our fates together. We are connected now, but we must be prepared for the challenges that will arise. Evelyn nodded, her heart swelling with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Whatever happens, we'll face it together. We've crossed a threshold, and I can feel the strength of our bond. As they embraced, a warmth enveloped them, a reminder of the journey they had begun, a journey that would test their limits, challenge their understanding of love and sacrifice, and ultimately reveal the true power of connection between worlds. Little did they know, the shadows of the interstice were not far behind, watching and waiting, ready to test the strength of their union. Trials of the hot days turned into weeks after the binding ritual, and the atmosphere in Evelyn's home transformed. The celestial orb pulsed softly, its colors shifting with their emotions, a gentle reminder of the bond they have forged. Yet, with every passing moment, Evelyn felt the weight of their connection grow heavier, as if unseen forces were pressing in from the edges of their reality. Evelyn often found herself lost in thought, her mind swirling with the implications of their union. Zara, perceptive as always, noticed the change. One evening, as they prepared dinner together, she paused and turned to Evelyn, her emerald eyes probing. What troubles you, my love? Evelyn sighed, stirring the sauce on the stove. I can't shake the feeling that our connection has drawn attention, maybe even unwanted attention. I keep wondering what those shadows we saw mean for us. Zara stepped closer, her presence a soothing balm. The interstice is a delicate balance, and our bond has indeed created ripples. But remember, we are not alone in this. We have each other, and together, we can face whatever comes our way. Evelyn nodded, but her heart remained heavy. As they sat down to eat, a sense of foreboding settled over the table, the warmth of their connection clashing with the unease lurking just beneath the surface. As days passed, the signs of unrest began to manifest in small but unsettling ways. At first, it was the strange flickering of lights in their home, an inexplicable chill in the air, and shadows that danced at the corners of their vision. Then, whispers emerged. echoes of conversations just out of reach, brushing against the edges of their awareness. One night, Evelyn woke suddenly, her heart pounding. The room was dim, illuminated only by the soft glow of the orb. Zara lay beside her, a peaceful expression on her face, but something was off. A low hum vibrated through the air, and the shadows seemed to deepen around the room, stretching like tendrils of smoke. Zara. Evelyn shook her gently, fear creeping into her voice. Wake up. Zara stirred, her eyes fluttering open. What is it? She asked, sensing the tension. The shadows, they feel different tonight. Evelyn pointed toward the corner of the room, where the darkness seemed to coalesce, forming a shape that writhed and pulsed with a life of its own. As they both sat up, the orb flickered, its colors flickering erratically. Stay close, Zara whispered, drawing Evelyn closer. We'll face this together. The shape in the corner solidified, revealing a figure cloaked in swirling darkness. Its features were obscured, but Evelyn felt its gaze piercing through her, unsettling her very core. Seeker of connections, it intoned, its voice echoing like distant thunder. You have breached the boundaries of your worlds, and now you must pay the price. Evelyn's heart raced as she exchanged a terrified glance with Zara. What do you want from us? She demanded, her voice trembling but defiant. Your bond has disturbed the balance of the interstice, the figure hissed, its voice curling around them like smoke. You will face trials, and only through overcoming them will you prove the strength of your connection. Fail, and your fates will be forever entwined in shadow. What kind of trials? Zara asked, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her. Each of you will confront your greatest fears, the deepest insecurities that dwell within your hearts. Only then can you truly understand the nature of your bond. Fail to embrace the truth, and the shadows will consume you both. The figure dissipated into the air, leaving a lingering chill that seemed to wrap around Evelyn and Zara like a shroud. They remained silent for a moment, the weight of the challenge settling heavily on their shoulders. What do we do now? Evelyn asked, her voice barely above a whisper. We prepare, Zara said, determination sparking in her eyes. We will face these trials together. We must confront our fears if we are to protect our bond. Evelyn took a deep breath, steeling herself. Together, she echoed, the word resonating with both hope and trepidation. As the sun rose the following morning, the air felt charged with energy. Evelyn and Zara spent the day preparing for the challenges ahead. They trained together, honing their connection, practicing techniques they hoped would help them navigate the trials. They shared their fears, vulnerabilities spilling forth as they delved into the depths of their hearts, each revelation strengthening their bond. But the nights were restless. Shadows crept closer, whispering temptations and doubts, testing their resolve. The figure had been right. Evelyn's heart often ached with the insecurities of her past, the fear of being alone, the memories of rejection that had haunted her for years. Meanwhile, Zara grappled with the uncertainty of her identity in a world that often felt foreign and unwelcoming. One evening, as they sat in the glow of the orb, the air crackling with tension, Evelyn turned to Zara, her voice trembling. What if we fail? What if we're not strong enough? Zara cupped her face in her hands, her touch grounding. We are strong enough, Evelyn. We have each other, and that connection gives us power. You are not alone in this. I will always stand beside you. With her words, a flicker of hope ignited within Evelyn's chest. You're right, we can do this. We have to believe in ourselves and each other. And so, with the dawn of a new day, they prepared for the first trial. As the sun rose, the celestial orb pulsed with a vibrant energy, casting a warm light over the room. They held hands, drawing strength from their bond, and stepped forward, ready to confront whatever lay ahead. In an instant, the room dissolved around them, colors swirling and merging until they found themselves standing at the edge of a vast chasm, the ground beneath their feet crumbling into darkness. Welcome, seekers, the voice of the shadowy figure echoed around them, resonating from the depths of the chasm. Your first trial awaits. You must confront the darkness within you. Evelyn felt her heart race as the shadows began to rise from the chasm, taking shape and forming visions of her past. Memories that she had buried deep within came rushing forth, moments of rejection, loneliness, and despair. Look upon your fears, the figure intoned. Embrace them or be consumed. Evelyn gripped Zara's hand tighter, the warmth grounding her in the storm of emotions swirling around her. I won't let them take me, she whispered, her resolve strengthening. Zara turned to her, her eyes fierce with determination. We can face this together. We'll confront them, and together we'll rise above. As the shadows loomed closer, Evelyn took a deep breath, focusing on the memories that haunted her, the moments of isolation that had shaped her. I am not defined by my past, she declared, her voice steady. I am worthy of love and connection, no matter what I've experienced. The shadows paused, as if momentarily taken aback by her words. Encouraged, she continued, I choose to embrace my fears, to learn from them. I am not alone anymore. Beside her, Zara added, and neither am I. My worth is not determined by the perceptions of others. We are strong, and our bond is unbreakable. With their declarations, a surge of energy pulsed through them, illuminating the shadows. The darkness began to recede, revealing the light of their connection. As the shadows dissipated, Evelyn felt a weight lift from her shoulders, a sense of liberation washing over her. Very well, the figure's voice echoed with grudging respect. You have faced the first trial and emerged victorious, but this is only the beginning. In a flash, they were back in Evelyn's living room, breathless but filled with a sense of accomplishment. The celestial orb glowed brighter than ever, reflecting the strength of their bond. What's next? Evelyn asked, her heart still racing from the experience. The next trial will test your connection, Zara replied, her eyes bright with determination. We must be prepared. Evelyn nodded, the thrill of their victory pushing her forward. Together, they had faced their fears, but the journey was far from over. With each trial, they would uncover more about themselves and the depths of their bond, forging a path toward a future filled with love and light. As they prepared for the next challenge, the shadows loomed in the background, waiting for their moment to strike. But with every step they took together, Evelyn and Zara grew stronger, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The depths of connection. The night following their first trial, the air in Evelyn's home buzzed with a charged energy, the celestial orb casting a warm glow that wrapped around them like a comforting embrace. Though they had conquered their fears together, the anticipation of what was to come loomed heavily over them. We faced one trial, Zara said, brushing her fingers through Evelyn's hair as they settled onto the couch. But the next will demand even more from us. Are you ready? Evelyn met Zara's gaze, her heart swelling with affection. I don't know what's coming, but I know we can face it together. I believe in us. Zara smiled, her expression radiating warmth, but there was a flicker of apprehension in her eyes. Let's try to stay focused on our connection. I have a feeling it will be our anchor in the storm ahead. That night, as they drifted off to sleep, they held each other tightly, the bond of their love surrounding them like a cocoon. But when dawn broke, the world outside felt different. The sun shone with an intensity that seemed to pulse in time with the orb, casting strange shadows across the walls. As they awakened, the orb began to vibrate, its light shifting from a gentle glow to a blinding brilliance. It's time, Zara whispered, standing and reaching for Evelyn's hand. Whatever comes, we face it together. In an instant, the room transformed. They found themselves standing in a vast, ethereal landscape, a tranquil forest bathed in soft light, the trees shimmering with iridescent colors. It felt serene, but an undercurrent of tension buzzed through the air. Welcome to the next trial, the figure's voice echoed, resonating from the trees. This time you will confront the bond between you. Love and trust are fragile, and the shadows will seek to sow doubt. Prepare yourselves. The trees around them began to shift, their trunks bending and twisting until they formed a labyrinth of intertwining branches. The path ahead flickered with shades of light and dark, and as they stepped forward, the shadows stirred, ready to challenge their connection. Evelyn felt a shiver run down her spine. "Stay close," she murmured to Zara, who nodded, her grip on Evelyn's hand reassuring. Together, they ventured deeper into the maze. With each step, the shadows morphed, creating illusions designed to exploit their insecurities. Whispers echoed around them, filled with doubt and confusion. "Are you truly worthy of love?" One voice hissed, weaving through the air. "What if she finds someone better than you?" Evelyn felt the sting of those words, the fear rising within her. "I know my worth," she declared, her voice strong but her heart quaking. "I have chosen to love and to be loved in return." But the shadows were relentless. Another voice crept in, slithering through the branches. "Do you truly trust her? What if this bond is just a fleeting illusion, and you are destined to be alone once more?" Zara's hand squeezed Evelyn's tighter. "We have built something beautiful together. I trust you, and I know you trust me. We must believe in each other." As they pressed onward, the illusions intensified. In one instance, the shadows conjured images of Evelyn's past relationships, each one depicting moments of betrayal and heartbreak. She could feel her breath quickening as the pain of those memories washed over her. "Zara, she started, her voice faltering as doubt crept in. "Evelyn," Zara interrupted softly, her tone fierce yet gentle. "Those moments do not define you. They are a part of your journey. They do not determine your future. You chose me, and I chose you. We are stronger than our pasts." With those words, a light flickered within Evelyn, igniting a fire of determination. "You're right. I will not let these shadows take control of me. I choose you, and I trust you completely." As they pressed on, the labyrinth twisted around them, but they remained steadfast, their bond radiating warmth and light. The shadows surged, morphing into figures of doubt that tried to separate them, but with every step, Evelyn and Zara's love pushed back, illuminating the path ahead. "Do you truly believe you can survive without her?" The shadows taunted, their voices laced with venom. "What happens if she leaves you?" Evelyn felt a pang in her chest, but she held her ground. "I will not let fear dictate my heart," she declared. "Zara is my choice, and I trust her to be by my side. I will not let the shadows cloud my love." Zara turned to Evelyn, her eyes shining with pride. "You're so strong. Together, we can face anything." With renewed resolve, they forged ahead. The path began to shimmer with golden light, each step illuminating the darkness around them. The shadows howled, their forms disintegrating in the face of the unwavering light of their love. Suddenly, the labyrinth shifted, opening into a clearing filled with bright, radiant flowers that bloomed vibrantly in every color imaginable. The shadows had been vanquished, leaving only the beauty of their bond behind. "Congratulations," the figure's voice echoed, this time with a hint of admiration. "You have faced your insecurities and emerged stronger. Your love is a powerful force." As the figure faded into the light, Evelyn and Zara stood together, breathing heavily but filled with a sense of triumph. "We did it," Evelyn exclaimed, her heart soaring. "Yes," Zara said, her voice softening as she gazed at Evelyn. "But we still have one more trial to face. The shadows will not give up easily." Evelyn nodded, her resolve unwavering. "I'm ready. Whatever comes next, we will face it together." In that moment, the flowers began to swirl around them, lifting them into the air as they soared through a tunnel of light. The world around them faded, and they felt the exhilarating rush of the unknown as they were pulled into the next trial. As the light enveloped them, Evelyn's heart raced, filled with anticipation. She knew they had come far, but the journey was far from over. Their love had been tested, and with each trial, they would grow closer, stronger, united against the shadows that sought to challenge them. When the light finally faded, they landed in a vast, starry expanse, the cosmos stretching infinitely around them. The air was thick with magic, the stars twinkling like the hopes they carried in their hearts. Welcome to your final trial, the figure intoned, appearing once more among the stars. Here, you will face the ultimate test of your bond. You must confront the truth of who you are, both together and apart. Evelyn felt her heart race as the enormity of the challenge washed over her. "What does that mean?" she asked, her voice trembling. Only by embracing the truth of yourselves can you truly understand the depth of your connection. Will you rise to the challenge, or will the shadows take hold? Evelyn turned to Zara, determination shining in her eyes. "We will face it together. Whatever truth lies ahead, we will embrace it." "Together," Zara echoed, her voice steady. As they stood side by side, the stars around them began to swirl, forming a kaleidoscope of images that flared to life, fragments of memories, emotions, and experiences. They each saw moments of joy and sorrow, love and loss, revealing the intricate tapestry of their lives. "Face the truth of who you are," the figure urged, its voice echoing through the cosmos. Only by understanding yourselves can you truly embrace your bond. Evelyn took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the memories crashing over her. "I am a survivor," she declared, her voice ringing clear. "I have faced loneliness, rejection, and pain, but I refuse to let those experiences define me." Zara stepped forward, her heart racing. "And I am more than the expectations placed upon me. I have struggled with my identity and the fear of not belonging, but I have chosen to embrace my true self." As they spoke, the swirling images intensified, revealing the complexities of their lives. Each moment resonated with the truth of their experiences, and the shadows shifted, attempting to encroach upon their resolve. "Doubt yourself and you will fall," the shadows hissed, their voices intertwining. "You are not enough." "No," Evelyn shouted, her heart pounding with defiance. "We are enough. Together, we are more than our pasts. We are worthy of love and belonging, and we will not let fear take that from us." Zara stood tall beside her, her eyes fierce. "We choose to embrace our truth and our bond. No shadows will define us." The stars erupted with brilliant light, illuminating the darkness that surrounded them. As the shadows recoiled, Evelyn and Zara felt their hearts intertwining, the connection they shared blossoming into something ethereal and radiant. "Very well," the figure declared, the shadows fading into the brilliance of the stars. "You've faced the ultimate test and embraced your truths. Your bond is now forged in light, unbreakable and profound." As the cosmos shimmered around them, Evelyn and Zara felt an overwhelming sense of peace wash over them. They had faced their fears, insecurities, and the very essence of their souls, emerging stronger and more connected than ever before. "We did it," Evelyn breathed, her heart soaring. "Together." "Yes," Zara replied, her smile radiant. "We are ready for whatever comes next." As the stars twinkled around them, the celestial orb pulsed with vibrant colors, reflecting the depth of their love, a love that had been tested and forged anew through trials and tribulations. Together, they were ready to face the world, hand in hand, a united force against the shadows that once threatened to consume them.